So thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today. I appreciate it. How are you
Good.
doing today?
Good. How about you? How have you been?
I've been good. Yeah, it's been crazy with all this COVID stuff. I wanted to ask you, like, how have you been doing? How did your life change in terms of COVID-19?
Well, it all started right after I had my baby, so there was a whole bunch of changes to deal with.
What are some new things that you learned like during this time when we were stuck at home?
Well, I learned how to raise a child. There's that. Like, honestly, like it was a lot because I was on maternity leave too. So it was
Mm.
just like I've been inside since January. So
Oh.
I was kind of like I'm already used to being in the house all the time because they were actually telling me at the hospital like there's this new respiratory disease and just stay inside. Don't bring the baby outside. It's cold. There's colds going around. So
Mhm.
I've learned how to be a mother. I can say that.
And that's like my next question. How hard has it been for you to kind of just like be a mother while living in a pandemic? Like, has it been hard to adjust?
It sucks because I can't take him out and like do things. Like we at least got to go to the pool a little bit this summer, but he can't really experience things. Like my boyfriend's family hasn't even met him yet, which is sad. Like he can't meet people, he can't be around people,
Mhm.
so it sucks. And then my mom, she at least she gets to see him like once a month, so that's cool, but
Right.
that's like the only person that he ever gets to be around. So that's kind of disappointing doing like, you know.
Yeah, and that's so sad. But hopefully it'll all go away soon. But
Yeah.
like what are some things you want to do when we get back to normal?
I'm definitely taking another trip. I definitely wanna like as soon as this is done, I am booking a vacation somewhere and I'm getting out of here. And that's my main thing that I just want to do. I really, really miss traveling.
Hmm. I bet flights will be very, very cheap. Hopefully.
I know. I feel like they'll either be super cheap or super expensive because they want to inflate it because they know everybody wants to get the hell out, like, and go do something fun.
For sure. Now we talked about the present a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about your career. You studied broadcast journalism at Emerson College, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Why did you choose broadcast journalism?
Well, my main thing when I first started getting into like that field is I wanted to be a host on
Mhm.
TRL. And things were like a lot different back then. Like you can easily just like go from radio to TV, and now like things have changed so much with media. So my friend always told me major in communications if you want to do something like that. So I started in communications, and then I had this one internship at Channel 7, which is like NBC in Boston. And um, this girl I interned with, she's like, "Oh, do broadcast journalism." So I switched it to broadcast journalism, and I just went from there.
Did you ever think about like switching majors? Did you ever doubt yourself? You're like, nah, probably this isn't for me.
No, I like kind of knew what I wanted to do, and I'm glad that she told me about it because it kind of like focused in more on like I feel like communications is so broad,
Yeah.
but like with broadcast journalism, it really narrowed things down. So I was actually happy that she told me that. So it helped a lot.
Right. And you do more like on the radio side. When did you realize you were like radio is my thing and television is like not?
Well, so it had changed, I feel like drastically when I was in college. Like I feel like YouTube became a huge thing, and that's where people are really doing it now rather than traditional TV because it's just like, why do that when you can have your own show and you can do what you want to do and you can make way more money doing that? And like, you can do what you want to do basically, you can create your own thing. So, um, television I feel like is really super difficult to get into.
Mhm.
I've always loved radio. Like I started radio, I listened to the radio my whole entire life, and then when like I got to college and I got a chance to be on like radio in like my station at Emerson broadcast to all of Boston. So I was like, this is so cool. Like, this is what I want to do. So I kind of just like rolled with that. And like,
Mhm.
then I got on the radio. So it was cool.
What is it about radio that you like the most?
Um, like being able to, I feel like just sit in the studio. It's not like a traditional office job. Like I feel like I
Mhm.
could
Yeah.
never, I've done it before, but I feel like it's not me. Like I feel like this is just more my vibe. Like it's more fun.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably what I love about it the most, that it's like fun. It's a fun atmosphere. You can go in, you can listen to music, and you can talk about it. So it's cool.
It's like super chill. It's not like too like it requires a lot. But
Yeah.
on the contrary, what's the most challenging part of radio?
The most challenging part I feel like is getting your actual job, because it's just so competitive, and
Mhm.
I feel like so many people want it and there's not that many job slots. So finding a job is like the most competitive, just hardest thing about it, because you never know who's gonna want you or if you fit their vibe on their station. So, and on top of that, like you have to move to different cities to like
Mhm.
move up the ladder. So I've lived in Albany, I moved back to Boston, where I'm from. Then I moved to Philly. So like, you have to move all over the place to kind of move your way up, unless you get super lucky and can be on your hometown or whatever. But like, for that's the most challenging part. That, and then when you first get on air, because I remember when I first talked on the microphone, I was shaking like a leaf, and it's scary. But then you get used to it eventually.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. And speaking, I know you've worked in like many different radio stations in many different cities. Do you remember like some funny anecdotes, maybe like you met a celebrity or like that like stood out to you the most or like just a memorable moment?
I remember when I was on the radio in Albany, and Ty Dolla $ign came in, and he was like super high. Like he smelled like
Oh
straight
my God.
weed, and he came in the studio. He smelled like, it just was so potent. The whole studio smelled like that for the rest of the day. Like the people just had like one of the personalities open the door. He's like, I can't. He has to do with a show with the door open because it just smelled so bad. But he was so funny. He's probably one of the coolest people that I've interviewed. He's just like a really cool, down to earth person, and he's hilarious too.
That's crazy that you've actually like experienced that. Um, I don't know if you heard, but there's like a lot of people saying that with so many streaming platforms now available, do you think that radio will ever like die out or disappear?
I feel like it's kind of dying out now because there's so many syndicated shows, and it's kind of sad because like I was saying before, radio jobs are super scarce as it is. And then now with all the syndicated shows, they're just taking the like really big personalities, and then they're like syndicating them across the country. So
Mm,
you're taking away like tons of morning shows, and you're taking away lots of like day parts for people when there's already no jobs. So it's like the radio personality has a very little chance now, like on top of everything else, it being so competitive to get on. Now it's like it kind of sucks because yeah, jobs are like dying because they're just getting people to like, oh, we can just stream them or whatever, and they can do one show, and then we don't have to pay all these people. So that kind of sucks. So I feel like that in that aspect, it's already dying out, and like it's not as popular now because you can stream all the music. But there is something about, I feel like local radio so won't ever like fully die out, because you'll always get like that local thing with local news and like making jokes about like things in the area. So I feel like in that aspect, like I feel like it won't fully die, but I feel like it's already dying because of like the syndicated shows and stuff.
right. And it sucks because I know like there's like you said, there's like so many hard jobs. It's like scarce to get a job in that industry.
Exactly.
Um, as what was your first radio experience like? Like when you first sat in the chair and you're in the studio, like how did that feel? Like what were you feeling?
so nervous. Oh my, I was so nervous. It was in college when I first did it, and I wasn't ready for it. Like, and they just throw you right on. And Boston is a top 10 market, and people
Right.
listen to the station when I was on. So it was just like, you don't realize, you're like, I could do this, whatever, when they're training you, whatever. And then when you like have to crack the microphone, like when you hit the on air button, like it's just everything comes to your mind, like, oh shoot, I'm talking to millions of people right now, and all these people are listening to me, and if I messed up, oh my, it's just gonna be embarrassing. So I remember my first time I had my PD there with me,
Hmm.
and I went to go turn on the microphone, I put it up, and I went to go do my break. And then back then, like, you talk over, we had like CDs, and like we did some of the computer and some CDs, so it wasn't fully over. Like when you were interning for me, you saw everything
Yeah.
already. I had to
Right.
put in a CD of an instrumental bed, talk over that, and and like, so it's just a lot of things going on because you got to do the faders and you got to do the CDs. So I put the instrumental on. I like did my break, and I was shaking so bad. It came out good, but then I like fell back in my chair. I was like, and he was like, I didn't shut my microphone off. I didn't go to the next song. He was like, like did it for me really quick. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, oh my god, I was shaking. Oh my god, like. But after that, like, he stayed with me for a few more breaks, and he's like, "You're good," and then he left, and he was more comfortable after that.
Mm-hmm. Did you
But
ever like have a moment where you like messed up like really bad?
oh yeah, tons of times, of course. If I was still on the radio today, I would still be messing up here and there. But that's what's good about local live radio, because you know that we're humans, and it's not just recorded. Like, it's talking like regular, like, people stutter, people change their thought mid-sentence, like whatever comes out. So I like that, because, and when I learned that, actually, because I thought every break had to be perfect when I spoke, but then
Mhm.
when I realized, like, it's just a conversation, and I was just like, whatever, and then I just spoke, and then everything is not really like a mistake anymore. It's more like you're just speaking. So yeah, but
Right.
everything doesn't come out perfect all the time, just like regular conversation.
Right. And how did like when you first heard like the reaction from someone like from a listener, how did you feel when they're like the support you got from them? How did that make you feel?
Oh, it was really cool, because I know when I was in college radio, like, the people who ran the station, they would tell us, like, you know, people would say a lot of bad things about you before they say anything good. So if you get like any hate calls or anything like that, people talking like crap about you, just know, like, you know, people will say something rude to you before they ever say something nice. So, but I didn't really, like, sometimes, like, here and there, I guess people wouldn't feel me, but I guess it's your own vibe or whatever. I've gotten like
Mhm.
people on Twitter like, Carmen, blah, blah, whatever, tweet me and say that they can't stand my voice. But then other people I have, like, they call me up, they're like, oh, you sound so good. Like, I've had people trying to take me to the coffee and like, oh, you're a good person or stuff. Like, so it's different. It's cool. And it's really nice that people show love, like,
Mhm.
and really listen to you, and they actually get to know you as a
Right.
personality. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. And in terms of like your career, what do you think is your next career move?
Well, since I had the baby in COVID, I had to quit, obviously, the station that I was on.
Right.
And so, and then actually my station that I was on in Boston switched formats. So I did like one last show there in February, and
Hmm.
after that, they like flipped the whole station, and like, it's, I think, maybe like hot AC now. So now I don't even know if they have personalities. Honestly, I haven't even listened to the station, so I haven't been on the radio for since February. It's been a very long time, so I don't know what's going on with that. If I ever get an offer again or anything like that, like, I would definitely consider it. But right now, I'm just like kind of a stay-at-home mom, and
Right.
I do the YouTube, of course, which is really fun. So
Right.
maybe that could become a career, but right now I'm just kind of going with the flow, seeing what happens
Mhm.
after this whole pandemic and stuff like that. But I'm just trying to not worry about things and just kind of
Mhm.
be at ease, and like going with the flow is way better than worrying, because worrying will eat you alive. So I've been pretty happy now. It's fun being a mom, and it is a full-time job. It's a full-time job.
For sure. And speaking about your YouTube channel, can you tell me a little bit what your channel focuses on?
There's lots of stuff. My boyfriend is obsessed with YouTube, and he always tells me focus on one thing because that's how you get your audience. And but I do so many things. Like that's who I am. So I kind of just roll with that. But I do lots of stuff like DIYs. I love doing Halloween costumes. I have some new Halloween costumes. I might put up one more, but I know I'm annoying with it this year. Um, but I do DIYs, travel videos, just vlogging if I go out somewhere, stuff like that. So a little bit of everything.
And when did you first start uploading videos to YouTube?
Um, I want to say actually it's about to be like 3 years now in November. So 3 years now. That's crazy.
Oh my gosh, yes, time flies.
I had another YouTube channel actually. I made back in like the day when I don't even remember what year, when I lived in LA, and I used to interview celebrities there and stuff like that, or like people in the industry. But I didn't
Mhm.
do all that because I look crazy. I can't even look back at it because that's before Instagram and glamming. And I was like, I can't look at this anymore. But yeah.
I know you mentioned like you crazy about doing the Halloween costumes. You've done like Britney Spears. I saw you did Carmen Sandiego recently, Cardi B. What costume has been the most difficult one to make on your own?
Oh, Britney Spears, but it's the most epic costume I have ever made or wore for Halloween. I wanted to do it for so many years. Like,
Hmm.
when people started doing celebrities like for Halloween, and it became like a really huge thing, um, I knew immediately that I wanted to be Britney Spears, but I didn't have anybody to make the costume for me. And that's before I started my channel and stuff. And I was
Right.
like asking everybody, like, "Oh, do you know like anybody who can make like this costume?" And then everyone would be like, "Yeah," and like just kind of like forget about me. So I was like, you know what? And then when I had my YouTube channel, I was like, I'm gonna make this myself. So I literally, you don't even know how hard that was. I literally went to I looked at every fabric store in Philly. I couldn't find
Hmm.
what I needed. And then I looked in Queens in New York. Me and my boyfriend went out and we tried to look at the fabric stores. We couldn't really find anything. I think maybe I got one piece from either one of those stores. Then I went back home to Boston. I'm like, why didn't I just start here? I'm from here. I know exactly what store has the best prices and the best fabric. And I found everything there. I was so excited. Then I
Oh
pieced
my God.
everything up. Like, it just was so many little pieces. I would just pick it up here or there, go to Michael's, get glitter. And then making everything, like sewing it and everything. Like, I'm not a seamstress. So when I was putting it together, like, I was just going, like, I was looking at the picture of her, like, I'm just gonna make it look like this. And it was hard work. It took me a few weeks to make. Like, I would just go home and, like, start going crazy, trying to pin the bra together and stuff,
Uh-huh.
glue stuff on my boots. And then eventually, like, I would say looking for stuff took me like a month, then putting it actually all together and
Wow.
it took like 2 weeks. I want to say, like, hard, like every day after work I would go home and do it, and I would be like, it was like 2 straight weeks of that. And then filming it and editing it was also really annoying because it was so long. But at the end of the day, I was so happy. Like, I worked at like this club in New York, and everybody recognized me. Like, I didn't take my jacket off; I just had the little microphone, and it was like Britney Spears. I was like, "Ah." And then when I took it off, I was like, "Damn, Britney Spears! Oh my God, wow, this costume's great!" It was so cool. It was the best costume I ever wore.
That's awesome, but the process might have been like, oh, it might have been so draining.
Find it on like online. Like, one girl last year, she actually hit me up and asked if she could buy it off of me. I like
Really?
ordered it, and I was like, no. Even though I'm never gonna wear it, I was like, no. This is too much hard work. Maybe one day I will, but I was like, no, not yet. I'm not ready to.
That's too special. You can't just give it away like that.
No, exactly.
You talked about the editing process and the filming process. How hard is that for you? Does that take up most of your time?
Um, for that video or for all my videos?
In general.
It depends what type of video it is, but it is kind of a process because you have to do your hair and your makeup, and you have to pick a nice outfit or whatever. And like, I don't think people realize that when they see people's videos on YouTube. I think they think that they're just putting up a camera and filming themselves, because some people do that and their videos are super popular. But for me, like, I want to make mine look nice, so it takes time, because especially with the baby now, like, I got to do my hair, I got to do my makeup, and then get my right outfit, and then I have to like set up my camera. And a lot of the times I just do it by myself. So like, I have to set it. It's like a one-man show, so it's like a lot of work, because you have to set up your camera and then make sure you are looking like, because I have a vlog camera, so I can like flip it up and see myself, but you have to place it on a tripod, place it here, make sure you're centered, make sure it looks good, and make sure, like, if I'm doing a food video or whatever, I have my stuff so you can see in it, and then you have to set that all up nice. And then if you're cooking, you have to like make sure you focus in on this, and I have to run back around to the camera, do it in here, and like just switch it back and forth. So it's a lot of work to film. Like, I'm exhausted sometimes afterwards. It's a lot of work. And like, now if I want to do it, I have to pay my boyfriend, like, take the baby here so I can do this or whatever. But I'll say there, like, eventually, like, you get in the flow of it, but it's really exhausting. It's like a job. And then, but if I do vlog ones, if I go out and I just vlog, those are fun. Like, you do have to do like your hair and makeup, but it's a lot easier because you're just out and about in town. You don't have to really set up the camera.
Right.
So like, you just like go around and film, and like cutting it up is actually really fun, because then you can like relive your whole day that you had, and it's fun. Especially with like traveling, but going through the footage, I always love doing and picking the best parts, putting it together. So those ones are a little bit easier when I go out and vlog and like travel videos, especially like if I find a good instrumental to put in the back, I'll just make it to it. I'm like feeling the vibe. Those ones are like easier, I feel like, but the ones setting up and doing like DIYs, like,
yeah,
you have to film it, make sure you get the flat lay going or whatever, but those are more difficult and those take a lot of time.
Yeah, I bet. You have to take on, like, put on different roles, like the camera woman, the director, the editor. But on top of everything, like all this work, what motivates you to continue to create these videos?
I feel like overall I'm like a creative person, so they come to me. Like, it just comes to me. I'm like doing something, or like, you know, I don't remember, were you there when did you intern for me when Adam was there? I always talk about him, I know, because he's like my best friend, but
I don't think so. I think I was after.
okay. Yeah,
but tell me the story.
Yes, all the time. He's like, "Oh, you should do this for your channel," and he sends them to me all the time. I'm like, "Thank you." Although sometimes, like half the time, I don't even like it's doing it because I'm so busy with the baby. But it comes to me like, "Oh, I'm going on like when I went on a helicopter ride over New York for my birthday."
I saw that one. So good.
And I went with my best friend, and I was like, "Oh, we're vlogging this, so look cute or whatever, because we're making this look good." So that, like, it came to me. Or like, if there's something that I want to make that I think is cool, like, I'm like, "Oh, I'm making this on my channel or whatever," and then I'll tell my friend, "I'm filming today," so listen to my videos too. So, but like, if I want to do like an activity or whatever, like, because normally I just want to go out and do stuff. Like, I've been doing a little bit more now. Like going out because the baby's a little older, so like we'll go out places, and that makes it a little bit better. But like it just like comes to me, whatever I have going on in my life, like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this. I don't like sit down and make a list, although like if I feel like when the baby gets a little bit older, if I do, I might plan things and write them down on the list, because I used to do that before when I was like every week a video, but now like I kind of just go with the flow. Like I was saying before, if something comes to me and I'm like, oh, that's a good video idea, I'm gonna vlog it. It's like everyday life, you know how people do Instagram and they're on their Snap or whatever, and they do that, and like instead I'll just be like, I'm vlogging this. So that's how I come up with the concepts kind of for my videos, like whatever just comes to me at this point.
What advice you have for other YouTubers who are trying to like create their channel and make it nice?
I feel like if anybody wants to make their own YouTube channel, I would say get like, definitely it's something you could make like a little board about or whatever,
Mhm.
or a planning idea, like calendar, whatever, I don't know. But like I would say have an idea what you want to do for your channel. So if you're good at DIYs, or if you're just like funny, or if you review like video games or movies, because my boyfriend loves those ones, or if you interview artists, like I have like a chain smoker behind the scenes thing, because you can always see them interview on your own, but like you don't really know what's happening. Like when I was there, um they were late as hell, and so I was there waiting. I'm like, hey, I'm waiting. And then when they got there, the one of the guys was like knocked out, and I'm like tapping him, like, wake up, you're not tired, but you don't see that in the interview. So, and then after, like, one of them got on the piano and started playing music, like just they're just chilling too. So that was really cool. But yeah, I would say like if you do interviews, then do that. Um, if you're into music and you want to talk about that, do that. But like, or if you're to put together outfits, whatever you actually are passionate about, or whoever you are, I would say be yourself and do what like you're into. If you're into fashion, do fashion, because that's when it's gonna come out super organic, and people are gonna feel that, and they're gonna like want to watch it because they know that you're into it, and they know like we're gonna go to you for this. Or if you like are good at a lot of things, whatever, into a lot of things like me, like to travel, like to do this, that, there's a lot of channels like that too. But I would say just be yourself and do what you love, because then you'll really feel it like on camera. And I would say get a good camera, a good vlogging camera. But if you don't have the budget yet, use your iPhone. Just make sure that you have really good lighting, because
Mhm.
if you have like an iPhone thing and you're in a dark space, it's gonna look so bad. People aren't gonna watch it. So I would say just if you're gonna use like a phone, because those cameras are really good too, just use your own good lighting. But I like to use a vlogging camera myself,
Yeah.
for it works for me. So I would
Mhm.
say get a good vlogging camera, a tripod. Yeah, make sure that you have really good lighting and have an idea of what you want to do. And with, I would say get it. iMovie comes with like every Mac and every iPhone or iPad, so you can honestly, you could just edit right on there, because iMovie is great. Like the way I edit it, you couldn't even tell that it's not the same thing as Final Cut. Final Cut is just like kind of easier, but I was editing all my videos on my iPad at first, so you can cut a really good video. Like you can do it with your cell phone, edit on your cell phone too. So like
Mhm.
if you want to start a channel and you don't really have, and you just want to try it out, those are good things to have. Just use your iPhone with good lighting. And I would say, yeah, use iMovie to start out. And if you're feeling it, then you can like kind of start investing a little bit of money into it and stuff like that. But I would say those things are important.
One little person who makes appearances in your channel, baby Nas. First of
Yeah.
all, congratulations on your baby. He's super cute. I know we discussed this a little bit about in the beginning, but how's motherhood going? Like what are the challenges that you're facing as a first time mother?
Um, I would say a lot of stuff comes naturally, but there is no
Mhm.
book to tell you what to do. So that part is kind of like annoying, especially because my family lives in Boston. So I
Mm.
don't, and all my like close girlfriends live there too. Like they all have babies, so I've been around their babies. But so like I kind of know like how to change a diaper, at least from them. But like no one tells you how to change a diaper. But I would say, yeah, like not being around them is challenging for me because I'm here by myself. It's challenging not having like family and close friends by that you would trust, like watch your baby, and you know they have kids. So if they were to watch your baby, like you could actually trust them, especially during these
Right.
times. The whole thing is a challenge. Like it's a lot, but it's so like cool to see them grow up, because especially like this baby was inside of you, and then
Yeah.
it's here. And um and then you have to do everything. Like you have to figure out like why you're like a slave to the baby. Like baby cries, you get them, like you have to feed them. It's like I feel like the first month it was everything was a blur. Like me and my boyfriend, like we would cry and we were like, oh, like, oh my god, what's going on? We would panic and we'd change the diaper together and try to like feed him, go back to sleep. And it was every 2 hours. So like you don't get a lot of sleep, but eventually he starts growing and like now he's sleeping through the night and it's fun. He's getting bigger, he's like laughing, so it's cute. But like it's very fun, challenging, and rewarding all together. One thing I do wish is that I live closer to my mom, so I could just like when I go to visit her, I'm like, take the baby, and then I'll like get to go and do stuff. So like it's just like a breather for me, and that's the only thing that I wish like I was just closer to her. But everything else is like really cool. Just watching him grow and like buying baby clothes and like with him, he's fun. But it's a full-time job.
Why did you choose the name Nas?
So obviously it's not Little Nas X. Let me start with. But he's because we named him after Nas because first of all the name is just cool on its own, but you know the rapper Nas is Nasir. But I wanted to just do Nas because everyone does Nasir, and I'm not gonna call him Nasir, so I figured like just call him Nas. And some people are hating on it, but I don't really care. But I love like Nas the rapper because it's just more like because no one really has terrible things to say about him because they know that he's such an amazing person and he's just so intelligent. Like he didn't even like I think he dropped out of high school or something like that, and he's so smart. He has like an honorary master's degree or doctorate or something like that from Harvard, and he is like an icon. He just got super smart by reading his father's books about like Africa and like Egypt. So like he learned all his stuff by reading, which I think is really cool. So he's just like an amazing person. He's so legendary, and that it's my boyfriend's favorite rapper. I love him. He's mine. One of my favorites, and he always has like hot records all the time. Like just his music is so dope. Like and he's just like I always think he's like my MCM all the time. But my boyfriend whatever. Like he's just so handsome. He's clean cut. And his style, like we just love everything about him. Like he's just such like a great person and like just intellectual and everything. So it means a lot, like that name. If you see somebody or meet somebody with that name and it was named after the rapper, like it just is so much meaning. And then my boyfriend, he's from Queens, like where he's from, where Nas is from. So like he grew up listening to him, like from day one. And yeah, we just like, and then actually, I've known my boyfriend for like almost 10 years now, but like when we first hung out again for like the 15th time, I told him like, we were talking about having babies that day. And then I was telling him, oh, if I have a boy, I'm going to name him Nas. He's like, I love that. So then like from there, we have little baby Nas. So yeah.
Aww. That's such a cute story. And did you always know it was going to be a boy, or did you have your doubts? You're like, maybe it might be a girl.
I had no idea. And I didn't want to be like, because I know some people, like, they have their baby and they're kind of like disappointed because they have like a boy and they wanted a girl or vice versa. So I feel like, you know, I would be happy either way because I already have my girl name picked out too. But like, I would be happy either way. I'm happy that I have a little boy because he's so cute. But yeah, I would say, like we didn't really care. I almost thought it was going to be a girl because all my friends have girls. I feel like girls are more like, you get more girls than you do boys. I feel like everybody's been having boys lately. But like, I didn't really care either or. I was going to be happy. I didn't want to like put anticipation on it because I didn't want to be disappointed if I wanted a boy and I got a girl. So I tried to keep it really neutral.
Right. And I know you filmed like your gender reveal, your baby shower, and then you did like videos like redoing his nursery. How is it like to film with your baby boy? Is it difficult? Is
Oh,
it
he's
fun?
so annoying sometimes. I'm like, I was shooting my Carmen San Diego video, um, and like every time, like I was like sitting right here actually, and I was like trying to like say something in the camera, and he's like, ah, every time. I was like, hey guys, welcome to my channel, blah blah blah, and he's like, ah. I'm like, stop, I'm trying to film. And then like sometimes you can hear him like in the background, he's just like, hey, like making noise, playing around. So it's funny. Um, but the style of my videos, I like to put music, so like whatever I'm doing is kind of like music anyway, so you don't hear him. Um,
Right.
but yeah, like he makes it so hard sometimes, but he's so cute, so I don't care. Sometimes I just include him in the video if I'm doing something. I'm like, his nursery, he was just like crying, or I would have to take him and I'll just have him playing right there, and I'll like put together whatever. But he's like watching them when I was doing my bathroom. He was like sitting in his bouncer because he was crying, and then like he was watching me. He watches me film all the time. He thinks it's interesting, and like he'll literally like just watch me do whatever, and then I'll put him in the video for a little bit of baby Nas.
How did baby Nas change your life?
Well, oh my God, it's so crazy actually, because I knew when I had him that like I knew when I was pregnant that my life was gonna completely change. Like I knew it, and I was okay with it because like I was 29, about to be 30, so I felt like because 30, I feel like it's time for like something different, you know.
Right.
So I was working in the club, doing bottle service, like driving from city to city, being on the radio, and like it's a lot. And then my boyfriend was living in Queens. I was all over the place. My life was crazy, and I never had a second to like really do anything like that. Like the only thing I would do for fun is like go on vacations or like plan something way in advance. I couldn't even go to like my friends' birthdays, like. So I was just always so busy all the time with work that like
Right.
I knew when I was pregnant, bottle service was going to be cut out the picture because you can't be like pregnant and serve bottles like. But so I knew that was gonna like end, and I didn't know what was gonna happen with radio because no one could have predicted COVID. But
Right.
I knew like it was gonna be different when I had the baby, like, and I was okay with it because I always wanted to be a mom. So, and I always
Right.
have like a huge like family with lots of babies. So I knew like eventually it was gonna happen. Like I used to think about that when I would move from city to city, like for my other radio jobs. I'm like, how am I ever gonna have a family? Like I'm all over the place. But it was just time. You know, some things just happen and they fall into place. So like when I got pregnant, I like quit the clubs, and um then I was just pregnant. And then when I had the baby, I knew, like, I know this happens to a lot of people, but when I came back in the house, like, I just cried because I knew my life was, like, going to be completely different. But it hits a lot of people, actually. Like, I've seen other, like, people, like, on Instagram, when they get out the hospital and they get, even on the car ride home, they just start crying. It probably would have happened to me, but I live right next to the hospital. So I went home for 2 minutes, and then I got in the door. I was like, oh my God. And I just started crying and crying and crying. I was like, oh my God. Like, cause it's just crazy. Like having a whole baby. Like I
Yeah.
think everything hit me at once. I was like, my whole life's changed. Once you like come to realization, and then when you're so sleep deprived, you don't even care. You're just doing whatever. You're just like moving like a zombie, changing like breastfeed him, whatever. So like it all falls into place. That's how I feel. But he has changed my life completely. Like I'm not all over the place anymore. Like I went from like 5 jobs to 0. So like now it's like completely different. I'm home like all the time, of course, because of COVID. But um, my life is completely different. I'm just gonna see what's next at this point.
At the end of each interview, kind of just to wrap up, I like to ask like quick random questions just so everyone can get to know you a little bit better. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. So, first question, what place or what country do you have left to travel to?
I have a really, really long list. But the next place that I want to go to is Jordan and Egypt. So I'm probably gonna do that in
Wow.
the same trip. But that's next on my list. And then from there, I have like so many places that I want to go to. I just love traveling so much. So that list is very, very long. But that's at
We'll
the
be
tip.
waiting for that YouTube video then
And I
when
want
we
to see
can travel.
all the great wonders of the world. And one is there in Jordan and one's in Egypt, so that's 2 more off my list. So
Right.
I only have a few left to go after that. So that's
What language do you want to learn?
um if I had to learn one fluently, it would probably be Spanish because a lot of my
Hmm.
friends are Spanish, and I know enough to like get by, but I
Yeah.
don't fluently. So I feel like that would
Mm.
help a lot.
Right. Duolingo, I recommend it
Oh
sometimes.
my
What
God.
has been your favorite country to travel to from the ones that you've already visited?
There's so many. I would say a few of my favorites. I really, really loved going to Thailand, specifically the islands.
Right.
It's just like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. Like I couldn't believe the color of the water and like the limestones. I'm like, oh my God, like I can't believe this is real life right now. It was just surreal. And I
Hmm.
really love Hong Kong. It's
Wow.
like crazy. It's like Miami mixed with New York. And their system is like 99.9% like on time. So it's like cool. So when you need to go to the train, it's like there, and you're expecting it, it's gonna be there. So it's really cool there, and like just the water, it's just so beautiful. Hong Kong is dope. I didn't think it was gonna be that fly, but it was so cool. So I think my top two would be like Thailand, Hong Kong, Rome. Rome was
Rome.
really, really cool. Like, it's just like kind of like, even though it's like crowded, it's kind of like peaceful,
Hmm.
romantic. I went with my best friend. She's like,
Oh.
you just like have brought boyfriends. I was like, I know, whatever, I love you. So, but I only spent like a day there and like a day and a half. And I like kind of saw like all the like historical sites, which was really cool to see. And it's just like even the color of the city. It's like crazy. It looks like sepia or something. Like it's just so beautiful and like old and stuff like that. It was like really, really
Hmm.
cool. I really liked Rome. So I think okay, those are my top three. I'm gonna
Top three.
go forever.
You've been to so many places. You probably have an ongoing list. Christmas or Halloween?
um, ooh. Do I have to choose? I love Christmas. I love Halloween because I get scared actually really, really easy. I hated it before. I can't watch scary movies. Like you should have saw me there in Bird Box, and that's not even scary.
Oh
I was
my God.
jumping. It was a nightmare. I had to like turn on the lights. I mean, it's so cool though because I just love like the costumes and like it's just cool like if it's not like scary,
Right.
but I know it's supposed to be scary, but like it's cool with the pumpkins, like the time is really cool. But then I love Christmas because probably Halloween. I like Halloween better at this point.
Hall- At this point, based on all your DIY costumes, I feel like Halloween is for
I love
you.
Halloween, yeah.
Instagram or YouTube?
Ooh, oh my God, do I have to choose this too? Why can't you just say like TikTok? Because I don't care about that. um, oh my God, I don't know.
You could say both because I feel like it's so hard.
Both, yeah. I could choose. I love both of them. Probably Instagram though. Instagram. That's the
It's
answer.
like, what is one accessory you can't leave without, or one accessory that you need to have in your closet?
I don't know. I would say, well, jewelry wise, they're not really technically in my closet, but I can't. I always have to have hoop earrings. Hoop earrings are my thing.
Right. Yeah. I always saw you wear them and I was like, they look so like sometimes. Yeah. Do you like big hoop earrings or like smaller ones?
I usually love the big ones, but like
Hmm.
nowadays I've been kind of going a little bit smaller because now it's like to yank them out of my hair. But
Yeah.
I love big hoop earrings. I love
An
big.
accessory. So that counts. If you could interview any celebrity, who would it be?
Mm, Kim Kardashian, probably. I love her. Even
Really?
all her business was there to interview at this point because she lives her life on camera. But I love Kim. Oh, no. Nas.
I was gonna say, I was just thinking about that. If you had not become a radio personality, what would you be?
Um, I was actually thinking about this not too long ago. And if I were to like do a whole other career again and have to like go to college and all that, I'd
Hmm.
be a makeup chemist. Like how they put
Wow.
formulas together to like make the foundation and stuff like that. I think I would do that.
Wow, that's super cool. That's super technical too.
Now.
Is there anything you regret doing in your life
Um,
so far?
mm, no, I would say there's embarrassing moments, of course, like everybody has them, but overall, I would say like I'm glad that I did everything that I did, like
Hmm.
because it made me who I am. So every like embarrassing moment has led me to here. So I would say probably not because um everything happens for a reason and
Right,
everything's cool right now. So
right. Last question, whether goals personal or professional does Carmen have left to accomplish?
mm, probably just to grow like my Instagram and YouTube and
Hmm.
have more babies and have a big old family. And those are like my main goals right now.
Hmm. Well, on that note, thank you so much for talking with me today, for taking the time to chat with me. I love your Instagram page and your YouTube channel. I love all your videos. And thank you so much for sitting down with me.
Oh, thank you for having me.